deep in a pane of shade glass, somewhere in the depths of Shadespire, it's the Mortal Realms Rumor Mill, where we talk about Age of Sigmar and Age of Sigmar related shit. I am 1/3 of the Tabletop Talkerz, Lord Commissar Wood, and as always I'm joined by Josiah, the Heavy Flame of Freya, and Death's Disciple Darian. As always, we start the week off with what we've been doing in our games. I believe we started a Path to Firestorm campaign at our local shop. Now, Path to Firestorm was we had Firestorm rules, but we had a lot of players that didn't have enough to play like a 2,000 point game by the end of it. So we wanted to do like a Path to Glory so that people could buy more shit and then start in the campaign. So I started that this week.
Very cool.
We got the map up and everything. What have you done? Did you...
I've actually gotten to play both of them with their starting warbands, with what I will be playing as mine.
Yeah. Are you playing a free city, or...
Yes, I'm going to play the Wraith Fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anything that can ally with Nighthaunt, essentially. Just not Flesh Eater Courts, so
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, doesn't have any flesh eater, of course. And you?
And I played Tempest Eye.
Yeah.
It was an interesting thing. I'm probably going to try to rearrange the warband in some way. But it was fun, and I'm going to...
Are you going to make use of that extra movement for you?
Completely, especially with the first week's game.
Yeah, I'm playing the Living City. I play Slavenith and Stormcast, and I had a kind of a rocky start because I forgot that only Slavenith are immune to the Waking the Wildwood, yeah, and lost a lot of Stormcast to casting magic, even my own magic, to cause some Stormcast. So I'm going to have to rethink how I do that. See, I didn't think about that. I was like, I need the trees for my Slavenith. But trees are very antithetical to
everything
Stormcast.
that's not trees.
Yeah. So this week we'll start off with a cool little battle plan they've got up on the Age of Sigmar site. I believe it's called... shit, I should have wrote it down. It was a death-related mission.
Oh, Duality of Death.
Duality of Death. That was the name of it. I was looking for it.
I kept trying to think of a game of death.
In this scenario, only heroes can hold objectives.
And Behemoths.
And Behemoths, yes. Any hero that's holding an objective heals it every time he scores. So he heals, however much, maybe a back up to full each turn. It's all about Behemoths and heroes. You see, you got typical kind of deployment, except you don't get the whole edge. What would you play, do you think, in this particular scenario?
Something here. I'd want something
it's a
fast.
five objective scenario.
How many points would I have to play with?
Five turn scenario.
5-turn scenario. How many points are allowed?
Let's say we're playing at 1,500 points.
1,500.
Yeah.
Okay. Arc in the Black. That sweet 16-inch movement. I want to play his warband, actually, the Arc and Skeletal Guard.
Yeah.
So him, a big unit of skeletons, Sepulchral Guard on the side, just if I have to meet any battle line requirements. If not, I mean, they'll probably be out because they're just wasted points. I could play hero instead.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that right there. Get that extra 4-inch
move. A big old
move.
unit of skeletons just to, like, as they go on one objective and just sit there. And then, like, well... You would have to have at least 2 behemoths because you want to hold each objective.
Well,
when do you think you'd go with the other one?
Not 2 behemoths, just a hero. So
Another hero?
My Vampire Lord with the wings, 10-inch move, so he can just fly out. He won't get the
Put him
extra
in the
4,
middle of the skeletons. That way, people have to fight through the skeletons to get to the Vampire Lord.
Yeah.
In the middle. What would you play?
1 Arcanaut Ironclad, 2 Arcanaut Frigates. The Arcanaut Frigates each have... Sorry, the Ironclad has 20 Arcanauts in it, and the Admiral. The frigates, one of the frigates has a unit of 10 Thunders. The other frigate has whatever the hell I want to throw in there.
I like that.
2 frigates and Ironclad parked on objectives.
Yep, with an accompanying smaller fleet of gun haulers and a couple of gyro bombers.
Sounds pretty dirty. So my objective would be to play 2 Tree Lord Ancients. Put my first Wildwood up around one of the objectives. Put my second one that I can summon up at the other objective. And then just have a Tree Lord in each one. And fill them with as many... I'd probably keep most of my force for reserve points. And just keep filling it up with Dryads. With like a Branch Witch. so that as I need to, I'm just like, yeah, here's 2d6 or a branch wraith, 2d6 dryads, 2d6 dryads, 2d6 dryads.
Well, also just remember there were specifications for this. Like, you couldn't hold an objective unless you moved, and being placed wasn't the same as moving.
Yeah. So you couldn't use like lightning chariot to get on one of the objectives. You hold the objective until either your model is slain and somebody else claims the objective, or they have more hero models. I believe it was. Was it more hero models on that thing?
I don't remember that. I thought it was you just had to be
You just
slain.
had to slay off. And so, with that being said, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it better than just, I have guys near it. Well, you didn't kill me off of it.
Yeah.
You can have way more dudes on it.
It makes me rethink my list.
Yeah.
So
That's why I think having a branch wraith in each one, just summoning dryads as I need them, would, I think, do me a little bit better. Because I could keep healing my tree lords, my ancients, on the objectives. Okay, they're behemoth and heroes, so just keep healing them back.
That'll work.
that's the one.
All right. So that's a cool little mission that they have there. Oh, so we got the results from some statistical results from the grand tournament. This is the Grand Alliance split. Now, I believe this is all the players. They had 39 players, of course, playing Order. There's so many more Stormcast players than anything else. It really is
and
just
Order factions left over from...
Yeah, because even now Dark Elves are now Order as well. So you have some stuff that's in there. I was actually kind of surprised at how much chaos there was. I would figure there'd be a little more destruction, just because Beast Claw Raiders are so hard to... Yeah, they're so strong. I figured they'd be played. A lot of people allied Beast Claw Raiders, I saw, but we'll see that a little bit later. So that was the Grand Alliance split. Death with the smallest showing, but only one less player than destruction. But they
These
still play
battle
pretty
tomes, actually, so that makes sense as well.
All right, so this is the Order Alliance split. Of course, most players played Stormcast Eternals. Then you had the second most, Slaveneth. They are considered one of the stronger armies. I would say Stormcast Eternals are the strongest in Order.
Yeah.
People like to say that it's Slaveneth or other stuff, but it's just they've got so much fucking range, man.
Yeah.
They've got 2 pages of fucking range.
They have more than any, maybe except for maybe Seraphon, more responses to everything.
Yeah. What do I need? I need guys that hit roll hard and also do mortal wounds. Got
Like
those. I need cavalry that does mortal wounds. Got those. I need
Liberators are the best survival battle line. Just shield.
Yeah.
CC.
Two
Liberators
wounds, reroll ones.
So good.
Yeah.
The freaking prosecutors are on par with anything else that flies.
I was actually surprised at how many Seraphim players there were. I don't think their rules are very strong at all. I was looking at especially with their Grand Alliance, with their Alliance keywords, or Alliance abilities.
I'm sure a good portion of them were playing the Lord Croak crazy spell combo. He has Lord Croak has a spell that affects all enemy units on the table. So he just casts that each turn. You take D3 to D6 wounds from his magic that he's almost guaranteed, and because he's casting from the far corner.
Yeah.
He's got all sorts of crazy, and he's also on a and you can cast like 3 or 4 spells too. So
yeah.
And they summon up the what's it called again? Something Vortex.
Yeah.
Balewind Vortex.
Balewind, yeah.
They summon up the Balewind Vortex, Lord Croak, blah blah blah, full table range.
Double range my spells, yeah.
Yeah, you get the idea.
So it looks like the least players are Fire Slayers, and that's completely understandable. I think they have the weakest rules of the Order factions.
They're a fun army, but I don't see them being competitive.
In a game that's quickly become, because like I've noticed, I started playing 40k again with 8th edition, and I noticed there's a lot of similarities, and just everybody's rolling 4s all the time. 4 is the magic number for 90% of the time. What I noticed is though that things are a little more survivable because there is the strength characteristic.
Yeah, strength to toughness.
Yeah, exactly. So like the smallest thing, it needs a 6 to hurt the tallest thing, but he still can hurt him. But in Age of Sigmar, that's not the case. If it's a 3+, it's a 3+. That's what you need to hurt the biggest thing there is.
Yeah. A lot of...
And with that kind of rule set, guys without any armor,
They get the shaft.
yeah, they get the shaft.
hard.
You know, because
Like-
like I'm rolling just as many 4s as you are. Yeah, but my 4s do way more damage. You know.
Yeah. I wonder how many of those guys in the destruction side were as bone splitters.
Well, we will see.
Okay.
So, average score by faction. Chaos was right behind Order with how many people had played. And it shows in the score. Chaos has a lot of strong shit, especially with Bloodbound and with Arcanauts. Arcanites.
Yeah.
Arcanauts. Tzeentch is very, very powerful, especially if you're willing to pay the reserve cost to do all the casting and everything you need.
Yeah.
Death. I actually think that everybody scored pretty. Like nobody's disrespected. Nobody has room to talk shit about anybody else here because these scores are pretty goddamn even. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very close.
Nobody no faction lost by a landslide. No.
Yeah.
Was just clearly underrepresented or anything. But it shows the representation really. Chaos and Order were
The two largest.
yeah, two
shows.
largest ones. These guys were very, very far behind them, and they're still competitive in score-wise. So I think that definitely shows that rules seem pretty even.
Yeah.
If you can be underrepresented but almost equally represented in
I'd be
score.
interested to see what the numbers look like if you drop them down to 12 players each, the same as Destruction. You
Yeah,
just keep
exactly.
Death at 11.
Exactly.
Drop them down to Destruction's level, and then let's see what the numbers are.
Exactly.
Probably around the same range.
Probably around the same, yeah. So Death Allegiance. You actually have more people playing Flesh Eater Courts, and I think they are the deadlier way to play the Death right now. They just... Last time I faced Flesh Eater Courts, it just was like, I finally killed some of these gigantic bat dudes. Well, this gigantic bat dude made more of them, and this one did too.
Yeah.
Oh, I finally killed some of these crypt ghouls. Oh, he made more of those as well, and he did too. It's just like, no! It's so hard to beat. Now, Chaos Legion split. This is actually kind of surprising for me, alright? So mixed Chaos, that means everybody's allying everything else, right?
That's awesome.
That's how everybody's playing Chaos right now.
Yeah.
That's not how Order's being played, it's not how anybody else,
Death.
it's
Death, you're either Death,
yeah,
Flesh Eater Courts,
Death or Flesh Eater Courts, yeah.
mixed.
If you played Vampire Counts, you're
So-
still just playing Death.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was before they did the different Death allegiances, like Vampire Counts and stuff like that.
Soulblight.
Yeah.
And
So we have here mixed chaos, which everybody's playing, it seems. And then you have proper representation of the three gods.
that actually have stuff going out.
Yep.
And then Slanesh. And then the Ultra.
Legions of Asgore.
Chaos Dwarves.
Oh, okay. So there's actually people playing.
There are
neat.
two people showed up playing the
That's
super
really
expensive
cool.
to purchase Forge World army.
That's really badass. I'm just proud of those guys.
They are actually comparable to Seraphon in the amount of actual things that they have, because Forge World was working on them making make them a dedicated Warhammer army. So when Age of Sigmar happened, they're like, all right, rules. And then when General Handbook 2017 came out, they're like, all right, allegiance ability.
Alright, Destruction Allegiance split. Alright, so we have Iron Jaws, is what most people are playing.
2 Bone Splitters players.
Yeah, 2 Bone Splitters, 2, what
Grots.
is this, Grots?
Goblins of... I
Yeah,
assume that's
So like
general...
Spire Riders and shit like that.
Yeah.
Beast Claw, I'm really, really surprised there was only one person that played Beast Claw.
But 3 people played regular ogres.
Regular
Or
ogres.
ogres.
Yeah. Which is cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I like ogres. You
the-
still got some, right?
I got the Tyrant.
Yeah.
I sold the rest.
Alright, so these are the new boxes that are coming out for this holiday season.
Battle Forces.
They all come out to about, if you actually pay for each thing, around either from 235 to 245 was the max on them. But they all are $170, and I actually think they're a really great deal. We can see here that the first one is the Grand Alliance Death. It looks like you get Neferata, which can be made into Manfred or Archon. It looks like you've got another White King here. You've got maybe two
Got
units of
skeletons,
and 2 units of Graveguard.
either 2 or 1. I think that's 2, unless they come, 10?
Because that's Banner Bear is definitely probably for these guys.
Yeah. So yeah, White King will say 2 of Skeletons. It looks like 2 of Graveguard.
Well, actually, no, because this is the overspill from there.
Oh, is it? Alright.
So
It
Yeah.
looks like 1 of Graveguard then.
20
Yeah, 1 Graveguard,
skeletons,
20
10.
Trace Guard, White King, and what are these called?
Morghasts.
Yeah, those guys look awesome. We've looked at their rules a couple times. They look badass.
Oh, dude. I could see them doing work.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So that's 170. That's awesome. This is the Zinch Arcanites box.
That's
This
a
is
lot
really,
of Zangors.
Yeah, this is a lot of Zangors. So I think it's 20 Zangors, 20
Arcanauts.
Arcanauts.
Arcanauts is the dwarves.
Arcanites,
is
yes.
the...
So it's got Zangor Skyfires on here, a Zangor Shaman, Zangor Enlightened, which are the other version of the Zangors.
Isn't
on
the
disc.
Change Cult one of the formations?
I believe it is. It's I know it is because every one of these boxes they make into a formation if it already isn't.
So it is. Alright, cool.
If it isn't, then it is in this box.
like
Alright.
that upper one is Nephrod's Blood Court.
Yeah,
something
everything's
like that.
called the cult, but I don't know if the change cult, because I think the change host
Yeah,
was
it
a
was
thing.
Change Host was the formation. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking of.
Pretty good box, man. $170. You can't beat this. This is a good little start, especially if you have Silver Tower. If you
Yeah.
have Silver Tower, you've got an Arcanite's army now.
I
you
am
know?
very disappointed in the next one though, because I don't need anything from that.
You don't.
But that's a great start for
This is
anyone
a
who
great
wants to
start.
make a drive.
This is a really
So-
awesome start. $170, man. You've got a little fleet going on. You've got dudes to heal your boats. It looks like you've got 10 Thunderers.
Those are that's Arcanaut Company.
It's just an Arcanaut company.
Yeah.
And
Admiral.
Admiral, is that a...
No, that's another Arcanaut.
That's another Arcanaut? Thought that might be a hero.
So it's
you've got a... Is that a frigate or a gun hauler?
Gun hauler, a
And a
frigate,
frigate.
unit of either engine riggers or Sky Wardens, Arcanaut Admiral, and an Arcanaut Company.
Awesome.
Super awesome. Super cool. And I believe this is the last but not least, the Stormcast Eternals Vanguard Brotherhood. So you've got the Chocobo dudes, you've got your Paladors with the spears, you've got your Lord Aquilor. It looks like you've got some Vanguard Raptors over here with the Aether Wings.
And some Vanguard Hunters with the crossbows and thunder knives.
So you got some cool
Griffhounds.
Griffhounds. Looks like a cool little start to an army. Like if you've got any of the starter sets, any of them, this would probably fill out what you need to start like a nice 1,500 point.
Yeah,
Stormcast
if not in
army.
some situations 2,000, because I know some of these figs are expensive, like
Yeah.
that's wise.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, so Warhammer Quest now released these adversary cards, right? So everything that's in Chaos, the model range, they have cards for it now to be used in Hammer Hall / Silver Tower. So you're like, well, I don't have the Silver Tower game, or say I personally bought the Silver Tower and Shadows over Hammer Hall, and I ran the games both up at the shop. And when we played them, we all had fun. Everybody,
was fun.
Yeah, everybody joined. It was cool, but we played through it already. So now you can change up your story, add brand new elements from other people who want to join armies.
Cool.
I think it's really cool.
Fight some corn dudes in the Silver Tower.
Yeah, and evidently the new White Dwarf that's coming out in for December. December's White Dwarf, so it comes out at the end of this month. Has new missions for Shadows over Hammer Hall. So if you've played it, break it back out, man. Grab your buddies and go, dude, we're going back in. We're going back in.
Back to Hammer Hall.
Back to Hammer
Oh,
Hall.
we can never go back to Hammer Hall.
All right. Ooh, gotta change that real quick.
You
All
didn't
right, so we'll
see
keep
that.
this up. You didn't see that. That's a future segment. All right. So we've got done with what's new in Age of Sigmar. So now we change to epic battles.
Epic battles! Epic battles!
All right, epic battles is where we take one character from the Age of Sigmar model range lore, and we have them fight somebody, from our lore
Yep.
and age.
For
So,
example.
for example,
Cool.
first off,
All right, we have Conrad von Karstein versus Blade.
Blade, the Daywalker.
Vampire Hunter.
Vampire Hunter.
Jive Talker.
All right, so we've seen Blade do some pretty badass shit.
Mhm.
Would you say that could be as fast as a vampire moves in Warhammer world? Because they do move faster than a human.
Yeah.
But so does Blade.
True. How many inches would you have Blade move?
Blade's got a motorcycle.
Well, if he was a
One
model,
foot.
if he was a model on a base,
Alright,
he
well,
would move.
We do this how the
6 or 7
characters
sticks.
like operate.
Yeah.
So Blade does like charge into combat a lot. He'll probably just say something and then get flying tackled by Conrad, and then it's a sword fight.
So, his sword can't be used by anybody else. It'll cut your fucking hand off. His swords are probably magical in some way. Most vampire lords, I would
Yeah.
assume, would have at least
Yeah.
an enchanted
I
blade.
mean, there's always blood coming off of that one, so
Yeah. I think it actually comes down to, does Blade get any blood? Is he blooded up? Because remember when he falls in the pool of blood, he comes out like fucking Blood Hulk. I think on skill alone, we've seen Blade go down on skill alone.
Yeah.
He can be
Yeah.
bested. And if he's one of the best swordsmen of all vampires,
Yeah.
that's... If he's like the Lucius of...
He was good.
He was
was
very good.
really
He was
good.
by no means the best, but he was up there.
So, would Blade's weapon skill, would you say it's comparable to Conrad's weapon skill?
No.
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
Alright.
I would say so.
Then who has this? He would probably have the strength advantage?
He would definitely have the strength advantage, and he would be generating more attacks. And he's probably just an
That's
edge
true.
staff.
Just having another weapon
Yeah.
would generate more attacks.
Yeah, and he like is a crazy flurry of blades, like the blood, the Red Fury rule.
He has actual armor for combat, and Blade does not as well.
No, Blade is all
has-
anti-ballistics.
It's
looking
true.
stuff.
Blade will
Yeah.
come in. Ting! Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and he just has a katana. It's
Yeah.
just a cool katana.
It's a really
that nobody can
cool
hold.
like.
And it can be
It's
broken, right?
Yeah,
any
it has
sword
been
can-
broken.
Yeah,
yeah,
boom.
Yeah, it has been broken. I think somebody stomped on it in one of them. We got to give this to Conrad.
Sorry,
dude.
Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna have more attacks that do more damage more often.
Out
His
here.
fingers aren't going to get cut off.
They're gonna. I would say they're comparable in wounds. I would say they're comparable in weapon skill because they're probably about the same speed.
Yep.
But strength, yeah, he's definitely gonna have the advantage.
Toughness, Vic Conrad also definitely
Definitely has the advantage because he has armor and he does not.
Yep.
So yeah. This time, Warhammer wins.
Sorry, Blade.
Also, he's used to fighting different kind of vampire. Like Warhammer vampires are subtly different from a lot of other fiction vampires.
And they also spend a lot of time learning swordplay. And
Yeah. There is the single vampire that's a slouch.
yeah, they're
Close
all like
combat.
snorting coke and shit and fucking Blades, you know, they're all like schlubs.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we have.
Gorka Morka versus.
You can never see the corner.
There you go.
There we are.
God of Destruction Gorka Morka versus God of Destruction Beerus.
All right, so if we, like Age of Sigmar, made them into one thing, it's Gorka Morka.
Yeah.
Right. It's no longer Gork versus Mork. Gorka Morka, the best orc there ever was. Biggest, baddest orc, right? He's cunning, brutal but cunning. Against Lord Beerus, who's just hungry as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's also hungry because he's the ogre god now too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So he eternally hungers.
Yes.
Man.
Orcs are always looking for a good fight.
Mhm.
And he'd be the one guy always looking for the best fight.
Yeah.
Beerus could do that. Beerus could offer that fight. Orcs don't necessarily means that they win that fight.
No.
They just
You know what I
looking
mean? They
for
just
it.
like the fight.
But from their point of view, even when they lose, if they are still alive, they can come back for another go.
At a
So
fight,
they
yeah.
win.
Yeah, so they win. Yeah, yeah.
Orcs always win from
Yeah,
their point of view.
From their point of view, yeah.
But we're not orcs.
Yeah. So, I actually think, man, because Goku's like turned into a god
Yeah.
and is still beaten by
Mm-hmm.
Lord Beerus. I just think Bills beats his ass. Man.
Yeah.
He cashes
That's what
in
I
that
think.
check,
Yeah.
man.
Especially if we don't let orcs watch.
Yeah, if there's no orcs watching to cheer on, because then he just gets stronger and stronger as it goes.
I mean, he is the most psychic of the orcs, so if he
He
sees
is.
Beerus and he's just
made
like,
of psychic energy.
and
Yeah.
he just says, "Oh man, I am stronger than this person," and he really believes that.
I think he'd get close, but I just think Lord Beerus can like destroy planets. Like he's like, yeah, I'll just end this planet. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
He can maybe end the realm that Gorka Morka's on.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, this is too hard of a fight, man. I feel like going to get something to eat.
Blows up the planet, kills all the orcs.
Yeah.
Gorkamork's gone.
Yeah, exactly. I see it like a power creep, even if orcs are watching, but I just still think that
All right.
he would eventually have an end game.
Well,
that's like,
another
well,
thing
I'll
is-
end it all.
Oh, another thing is that he doesn't look like he'd be all that entertaining a fight to an orc.
No.
He's spindly
He's-
looking.
yeah, he's skinny.
weedy looking.
Yeah. Into the biggest, baddest orc there ever
He
was.
looks like some kind of abnormally tall cat grot.
What kind of squid are you? Alright, so our last battle is the God of Death, Hela, from the new horror movie,
Thor movie. Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. Versus Illyrio, the goddess of life.
Okay. Doesn't she cry spirit people, like wood people or something?
She doesn't cry them. She can raise a soul pod with her life magic, like immediately, like just bring forth glades of dudes.
Okay.
There's got to be seeds around for her to
Okay,
life
so he
energy.
draws her power from, like, life and seeds.
Life and seeds
And
and
Hela
stuff.
gets her power, spoiler alert, from the Asgard
Yeah.
in the movie.
She rides a giant beetle that changes into multiple beetles, and
That
then
then reforms into another beetle when she
Yeah.
wants to land.
it can shake terrain pieces and do damage to people inside them.
Alright, so the big question is, can she destroy Asgard before she... can she destroy Asgard before she fills the realm of life with swords?
No.
Just stabs every tree and every plant that's growing gets cut in half by
Yeah.
a sword.
Because she could totally do the, spoilers, Surtur thing and just, alright, more beetles. More beetles.
Yeah.
More beetles. Shake all of Asgard. Destroy Asgard.
She could just start like making the plant life there grow and just
Yeah.
like
Oh,
into
dude.
gigantic.
Hela just has to kill her.
She could
Get
tree
enough
person
swords
the
to
world
kill her.
tree.
The world tree, the realms. She could talk right to it. It'd
Yeah.
possibly affect it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a distinct possibility. Swamp Thing did stuff like that before,
But-
so.
but she's not immune to swords.
She's not.
So I mean,
She
20
could
swords.
be. She could be defeated, but not killed. Like she'd die, but there's a seed inside her that'll
Yeah.
just grow and she'll come again. But that's defeat. You know what I
True.
mean?
it stops everything else.
So this is happening. Let's say this is happening on on Earth.
Alright.
It's not the plane of life. It's not Asgard. They both have access to their magics, but they're-
neither can cut the other off from their source of their power.
Yeah. And they're
Hela.
No, actually, I think I'd go with Illyriel on this. She shows stronger magic than she does throughout the movie. Like, it's a lot of swords, but all she does is swords. She shows versatility. She's accompanied by a giant monster, not a guy with machine guns who betrays her.
yeah, and yeah, when it actually comes down to like Thor being the god of thunder, like starting to raiding around, she doesn't have any answer
Yeah,
for it.
and
Well, she's like I guess
Well,
eternally fighting Surtur in the realm.
Here's my
Yeah.
my point against it is, in a combat like that, sometimes you don't need versatility. It's war, all right. At this point, it's war. What do you need more? Is she immune to swords? No. All right, I'll just keep making thousands of swords, all right at
She
her.
could continuously be trying to be like growing up trees and growing
yeah,
up stuff like
she
that.
could
trying,
just grow trees to counter swords.
to counter the swords. But I still think that it would become too much.
I think she would get defeated but would regrow.
I think knowing that you can be defeated as well, and that if she was on Earth, she'd be like, well, this isn't my home, so it doesn't matter if I win this or lose this. This isn't for my home.
I just think Illyriel is just stronger than movie Hela. That's all.
Well, her spell does wounds on a 4+, and if anybody dies, it's like whatever the casting roll was. So it's a casting value of like 5 or 6, and whatever the casting roll was, that's how many dice you roll. On 4+ it does mortal wounds, and if you kill the unit, then it turns into a forest. So it's a pretty I just shot you with a sword kind of spell, except for did you die? Well, you fell and you turned into a forest. You know what I mean? Her magic, she gets to cast 3 spells, but we don't know how much she would get to cast, and what her personal spell would be like.
You know, if her personal
Warhammer.
spell is something like pick an enemy unit within 18 inches, roll 20d6. 6s are automatic mortal wounds.
That's absurd
Like-
for what we saw from her, though. To me,
Dude, she defeated an army
regardless,
in the beginning of the movie, like with swords, like
she's-
Valkyries and shit. Like
I get
they're
what you're
charging
saying.
in on Pegasi, and she just like, well, swords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I just still think she's stronger, but it's 2-1.
Yeah. All right. So it's a good debate, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna move on to our next segment. It's gonna be Better Know a Unit.
Ooh.
This is a place where we take one fig, which I should have got the picture for, and in post I will put it up right here. You'll see it. It's Horticulus Slimex, right?
Horticulus Slimex.
All right. He is the new Nurgle character that comes in the Blight War box, right?
Yes.
All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about him?
So Horticulus Slimex is the gardener of Nurgle. He rides on his shelled beast of Nurgle named Mulch. They have 8 wounds, a movement of 5 inches, and a 3+ save. Horticulus himself attacks with his loping shears, normally used for gardening, but I guess with Nurgle that's on people.
Yeah, it could be people too.
1 inch range. Both the attacks are 1 inch range. Both the attacks are 3+3+. But the shears are -1 rend for D3 damage.
That's decent.
Yep. And the slime-encrusted jaws of Mulch are -2 rend for 2 damage.
Oh, nice.
His abilities are nice. Of course, disgustingly resilient, like all Nurgle figs.
Yep, 5+ against wounds.
Yep.
Mortal wounds.
He has in death there is life. Nurgle units within 7 inches. Nurgle units within 7 inches of him are healed 1 wound whenever a unit is taken out of action, off the table, like wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
He also has Beast Handler. Beasts of Nurgle within 7 inches of him get to reroll charges, and if they're within 14 inches of him, they get to reroll 1s to hit.
That's awesome.
And lastly, his Slime Trail, when he retreats, is D3 wounds to whatever he was in combat with.
So, battlefield roll. That's my job. So, battlefield roll for this guy is if you've got Beasts of Nurgle that you have sitting in the closet that you haven't used for a million years, you definitely want to bring them out because now they're useful again.
Yeah.
They're going to get the benefit that we talked about earlier. He's not he's more of like I sit in the back and support kind of role. Him being around, letting you heal units, Nurgle units, as units are taken off the field. That means, is that units, Nurgle units, or any unit taken off the field?
Any unit.
So if you can get some Blight Kings or something to be this guy's retinue, then you've got a good chance of continuously healing those Blight Kings and him as things die. He's not somebody you're going to want to charge into combat with. He has combat that does some good damage, but he's not somebody that you're going to charge in with. You're going to want to accept combats and fight and then possibly retreat, or maybe get other people to join the combat so that you can heal them up when you finally remove the unit. But that's pretty much his battlefield role. It's more support. It's not a leader. It's more
he's
of a
only
support
8
leader.
wounds.
Yeah.
You don't even really want him as your general.
No, you don't want him as your general if you don't have to. If you have Blight War, he has to be.
Yeah.
But you don't want him as your general. What you want him as a support hero. That's his perfect role. And if you play something a little bit better, like
Great
a
unclean
demon,
one.
yeah, a demon hero of some kind, maybe a herald, that would even be a little bit better of a general hero. So, how do you kill it, sir?
Alright, I would say send in the cavalry, boys. Alright, you're going to want things that move fast, hit hard, or have a decent rend. Alright?
With he has a 3+ save, so you're going to have to knock down that save some.
I would
Give him
say
roll 5.
save your spells. Don't really burn your arcane bolts on him, because with that ability to just negate mortal wounds on a 5 or 6, that's too big of a chance for me. I'd feel more comfortable just sending in, like I said, something that hits hard, hits fast. If I was going to do it, I'd probably Blood Knights. If I'm playing, say, Stormcast, Fulminators look pretty dirty to me.
Yeah.
So,
Bring in Fulminators. Or anything with Starsoul Maces.
yeah.
Starsoul Maces. Dirthu would be nice. Just
Dirthu's
at
nice.
the top of his dodge.
Yeah, if you can get 3 attacks in with D6 damage, he's
Sylvanas
going to have a lot of 5s to make. Before
in
he's
a
done.
good place, so...
Yeah, definitely don't let him get on terrain. He'll have a 2+ save and an ability to retreat from combat and cause damage to you. Fuck. Yeah. All right, so now we know a little bit more about Horticulus Slimix. All right, so now in post, I'll remove that picture. And it's gone.
It's going to be great.
All right, so we'll move on to our next segment. It is Underworlds Overview. Underworlds Overview is a segment of the show we're going to do each week where we're going to talk a little bit about the game Shadespire. You can see we've got our Shadespire warband set up right here. We got some of the terrain we've made that fits here in the spaces. This week we're going to do my Iron Jaws. I think it's Gerzug's Ardboys.
Yeah.
Dream Hand. Now, my Dream Hand doesn't need a 5th card for the ploys. It could be any card you want. Maybe upgrade that you could put on somebody to maybe do a little bit more damage. Like Gorka Morka's Blessing or whatever, the one that does +1 that's the Iron Jaws upgrade. But this is my Dream Hand. If I pull this turn 1, I want to go second, and I'm going to fucking work shit, alright? So first off, we've got my 3 objective cards. We have Punch Up. Score this at the end phase if your surviving fighters, at least 2, made an attack against a different enemy fighter in the preceding action phase. Easy. I got 4 fighters. As long as I'm not facing Stormcast, I can get this objective card. Score this at the end phase if friendly fighters or at least 3 are adjacent enemy fighters. If I'm planning on attacking them, I plan on being adjacent to them. And then we have the biggest and the best. Score this in the end phase if your leader took out an enemy fighter in the preceding action phase. So this is all based around me just hurting people, or at least getting close enough to try to hurt them, even if my attacks fail. So the first thing I would do is if I go second, I play More Choppin' during my power phase. More Choppin' is roll an extra attack dice for the next attack and the next activation. Then, after he came, I would play my next power card, which is Gorka Morka's Blessing. First attack with range 1 or 2, and the next activation does +1 damage. And I'm going to want to activate my Gerzug, my leader. Now, if he gets to come in and charge, he's gonna, and he succeeds in his charge, he's gonna have 3 dice. He's gonna need hammers. That's, I assume he's gonna make that attack. He does that. He's gonna do 4 damage. Now, there's nobody but Gerzug in the game that has 4 damage.
Yeah.
So that has more than 4 damage. So that kills anything in the game.
Yeah.
Once I've done that, I play my reaction card, leading by example. Play this after an attack action, which your leader takes an enemy fighter out of action. Another fighter that is not already moved can charge and make a charge action. So I would then charge in with my next fighter, getting him in, and then playing the rest as getting my guys in to do some work.
Awesome.
So this would be my dream hand for Iron Jaws. And if I should have put an upgrade in here just to have like +1 move, I would probably do +1 move on whatever fighter was the furthest away. That way I can make sure I could get at least my fighters up and adjacent to everybody. But
or maybe the push a friendly fighter or push an enemy fighter, something to get things
Something
in
to
the position
get
set
something-
up a charge.
Maybe, yeah, if I was just a little bit further away, because having 4 figures, I'm usually got 3 right up front and easy charge range to pretty much everything. But I've always got 1 that seems a little bit further back from everybody else. So I'd probably give him the +1 move, or
Shift him, push
shift
him.
him.
Let
Yeah.
him get up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be my dream hand for Age of Sigmar.
deadly hand.
It is. I
So-
can dig it.
That's Age of Sigmar.
Oh, another
Oh,
choice.
yeah.
Another good choice would be one of those ploy cards that counters other ploy cards in case they try to fuck up. Any
Oh,
of your
yeah,
ploys.
yeah.
A little bit of that magic logic.
That would be pretty nice.
Daylight robbery.
Yeah, daylight
Right.
robbery.
Daylight robbery.
Just
man.
in case.
Yep.
Your first is daylight robbery, taking the glory you just had.
Yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
killed my orc? Okay. I'll take that.
All right, so that's Underworlds Overview. So we're going to go to our final segment of the show. It's called 20 Questors. Now, 20 Questors is a show that kind of evolved from the fact that there are so many things fighting Stormcast on the internet.
More every day.
More every day. There's just endless amounts of Stormcast fighting whatever faction from Age of Sigmar. It never ends. Well, there are little known pictures that people don't quite know about that are also on the internet of Stormcast fighting other things. And that's what we're gonna try and figure out what they're fighting today. So you each get 10 questions, right? Go back and forth. All right? They're yes or no questions. No questions that aren't. And if you've missed a few, I'll give you a hint by zooming in the picture a little bit. All right?
All right.
And then the person who can guess it, without me having to reveal it, gets a cookie.
Cookie?
Cookie. All right.
Getting that cookie.
You're getting that
All
cookie.
right.
All right. So, who wants to start off with the first question?
I do.
All right.
Okay.
Is it human?
Yes, it is human.
Is the person historically famous?
Restate the question.
Is the person someone you would learn about in American history class?
No.
Okay.
Is it a man?
No.
Is it a woman?
Yes.
Is it a
No. You gotta wait.
Are they fictional?
No.
No? Okay, so they're real.
Kind of, but mainly no.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Is the person
whatsoever.
European?
No. All right, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit.
Is she a politician?
No.
Okay.
Is she a religious figure?
No. Zoom in a little bit more.
Is she a member of the military?
No.
Is she fighting a liberator? I mean, a prosecutor?
Nope.
Is she an entertainer?
Yeah.
Is she a singer?
Yeah.
Is she younger? Like
Yeah.
under 30 or
Yeah.
whatever?
A
Okay.
younger person, yeah.
Is she a pop star?
Yeah.
How many are we at?
You have
I'm at
each
7.
you each have 3 questions apiece.
So she's a pop singer. She wouldn't hear about her in history. I don't know. Is she blonde?
Sometimes. It's a pop star, you know.
All right, fair.
She's known, I guess you could say, for being blonde. I would think.
Okay.
Is she Lady Gaga?
No.
Okay.
Is her name Melinda?
That was in my head too.
More questions apiece.
She Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Get that cookie now.
All right, guys. We've come to the end of the show. Josiah, what's best in life?
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women.
They're lamentations.
Their lamentations.
All right.
Lemon temptations.
All right. That's it.